Well, they will be trying to do just that now, as Liquid and G2 will be squaring off. A little bit of a roster tangle there on the side of G2, and a fresh-looking Liquid coming from Malta with a trophy in their back pockets. My name is Tristan Saranthus. Welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 8 Finals. Can't do it by myself. Wouldn't even want to if I tried. Got Chad, got Jonah here to my left to try to make some sense of what's going on here for the, I guess, the second matchup of the day. Numbers sometimes escape me, boys.
Yeah, I mean, the demeanor of Shocks in that clip we just saw.
I didn't want to be there.
But lean back.
There was not only that, Smooya just gave the most political answer Smooya's ever given.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Times have changed. He's changed. Maybe he's grown up. Who knows?
Well, everyone ages, so
yeah.
just like we're all related. So I can keep throwing these out.
We're all guaranteed to age, and somehow, some way, if you look at the family trees, yes, they tend to fork and do not do that. When we take a look at our ranked number 3 team versus I don't want to say ranked 17. It's definitely a weird thing over there, but the numbers are what they are. So we can begin to talk a little bit about, I guess, Liquid going into this one first.
Can we set a few things up first for the viewer at home just so they can manage their expectations just like G2 do with their PR? The fact of the matter is this isn't the full roster anymore. This team here, we can't look at them and go, oh, you know, this is a great learning experience for these guys, or this is great signs going forward, because this isn't the team. Sure, the core, it's going to be around. The core for everybody at home will be Kenny S, Shocks, and Smiths. Sorry, not Smiths, Body. Kenny S, Shocks, and Body. Existence and Smiths are out. Maybe I was being hopeful. Anyway, the point of the matter is this roster we can only analyze within the context of the tournament, and that context completely changes from what we've seen from them historically, because right now Existence and Smiths are playing with nothing to lose because they're not even in this team anymore.
Which is interesting, right? Because if you think about like teams that have run into roster problems, you've been around the game for about a million years now. What can you tell me about the vibe that goes on within camps like that?
I mean, it really depends on how the individuals within that lineup, like, kind of how do they feel about the changes that happened, you know? Is there any any grudges between these people, personally speaking? So it could be either two ways, you know. One is that they're just going to have a lot of fun, and it's going to be explosive, it's going to be hard to play against, or the other way, you know, they're going to end up in a cat fight, and, you know, we're just going to crumble.
Everything melts.
Grudges in the French scene sounds unusual, so
I
think they'll all be friends. But I think, you know, the expectation of what to look for, I think they will definitely go with the more fun vibe, right? And the fun vibe will translate to the sense of they're just going to be running around and maybe more individual. If you're the likes of Existence and Smiths, you wouldn't be playing anymore to set up Shocks and Kenny S, would you? You'd be playing to kind of get your own. That's what I'd be doing at least, because right here, right now, sure, they want to do the best they can in the tournament, but what incentive do you have for doing well, right?
Other than show that you have it, no problems, and that looking outward, you're kind of putting your own billboard up.
Exactly. You're playing for the future of your career, basically. That's like the only incentive you have.
Well, here's some more incentivizing stuff for you two, at least. We have the vetoes upon us. We see them going down live right now. All of this is not pre-recorded. It's all very much live. Now, Chad, what map should we be looking at here?
Train.
It's the best of one.
Neither team plays Train. So unless G2 really want to throw, you know, some real curveballs into the mix here, in a best of one situation, I think we're probably going to end up on something, maybe Mirage again, really, when I'm honest about it. A Cage could crop up as well if G2 want to be a little bit risque, but across the board, Liquid here are the favorites hands down. I would be expecting similar scenes to what we just saw Renegades get handed by Liquid doing the same kind of dishing out.
Feels like the map is not even relevant in this context, honestly.
Yeah.
Just consider the situation is so
Mirage
awkward.
Straight away.
The amount of asterisks that we have to put around this G2 lineup
Just
right
like
now.
all aboard, right?
Yeah,
Everywhere.
I mean, it's an all-encompassing affair here because, I mean, yes, no matter what map it is, this is still going to be a weird one for their side. Or dead team walking, they kind of win the whole tournament.
So right here, Liquid have left Train in, right? So that means it'd be in a second phase veto unless G2 get rid of it here. But G2 don't historically play this map, so I would be expecting
Listen, at this point in time, anything's possible. I don't think there's a lot of logic behind it, honestly, what they're going to be veto. So looking at the numbers even for the lineup, there's not like a lot of maps where they have like a high win percentage either. So, you know, consider the situation that they're a dead team walking, they could just go away with, you know, something really, really surprising.
Okay, so they did float it. So they're going to end up with Nuke, which is an interesting choice because Liquid are one of the only teams in the world who have been able to, I don't want to say take it to Astralis, but they're a team who have played against Astralis quite a lot on that map. So they know that they're confident, at least with their approach on Nuke. So if you're happy to play it against a team like Astralis in certain situations, then you're more than happy to play it against a team like G2.
I mean, you know, back even a few months ago, I would have said this is a bit of a risky play from Liquid going to the map like Nuke, you know, in this kind of circumstance, because things can spiral away out of control, especially playing T-side. But now teams have really developed a lot and play good T-sides on Nuke. And you know, makes it less of a risk for Liquid to go into this map.
I mean, just because they don't really have anything to read with them here, we could begin to talk a little bit about what the individual performances might look like here for G2. We might see scrimmy stuff, we might see them doing unorthodox things, and perhaps nothing that we've ever seen before.
Problem is that you need a lot of coordination on a map like Nuke, especially CT side. You don't necessarily really even realize how much it is about, you know, having certain kind of ground rules set up on if they take yard control, if they go down Sacred, how do we react and stuff like that. Yes, it will need to be the players like Shox going Super Saiyan and just go basically try to do one-man kind of stuff. But I don't think that's, you know, that's not really a possibility when you're playing against a super dialed-in team like Liquid. I think the likelihood of that being, you know, you being successful in that in succession is not very highly likely.
Just to make some notes here on this map for G2, they've played this 8 times on and offline in the last 3 months. They've only got 3 victories on it, 5 losses, and their victories are only against the likes of Diffuse Kids, LDLC, and North, which was in the realms of Pro League. When you look at Liquid, they've been playing it 8 times. They've won at 4, lost at 4, but they've been getting victories against the likes of Mouse Sports. You've also got a win in there.
Like solid Nuke teams.
Yeah, Mouse Sports twice. They beat Gambit once and Swole Patrol as well. So that one obviously isn't a huge one. But they've lost to North. They've lost to Astralis twice. And
who hasn't?
they also lost to NRG on this map, 16-2. So maybe a couple of kinks that they've identified. We had Malik and Existence there doing the veto, so maybe you can see, maybe go more of a fun vibe.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying.
On his face.
Very, very loose almost approach to this whole thing, knowing the circumstances aren't necessarily in their favor.
Yeah.
But perhaps somehow they turn around and try to make it in their favor.
Look, I think at least I didn't expect Nuke to be coming out here in the veto. I thought it was going to be a map where maybe they were going to give the chance to give more room to play. Like Yuna said, a map that requires a lot of structure like this means you do need someone inherently just to go off, right? If you don't have that depth of strat, if you don't have that depth of team play, which at this point, they have changed rosters, so they mustn't think they have that, right?
Yeah.
That's the telling sign right there. Whereas Liquid, they're just off the back of the win here. They're coming in as the heavy favorite in this environment, and all of their individuals, at least over the last couple of months, have shown that they can individually stand up and frag out.
Well, even the core of this G2 lineup has nothing to boast about in this last weekend. So if they're running with that any further, definitely not something to build upon.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like they get 2 relationships, right?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Well, they have had
yeah, no, it's cool, man.
one
I
match last weekend. They got a new one this weekend.
Yeah, and that's
All
the idea. How about this? Speaking of relationships, what are you tying yourself into when it comes to a prediction here? We don't have much time, so let's start with you, Natu.
Liquid.
Fair enough. Fair assessment. I believe it's got to be a pretty one-sided affair, right?
Yeah, Liquid here are the heavy favorites in this one. If G2 put up a fight, it's only the context of the tournament that we're going to be able to talk about this roster. So let's just go with Liquid here to get the victory. Anything that happens from G2, great, but in the context of World Counter-Strike, it doesn't mean a lot.
Yeah, and I think we kind of have to run with that sentiment as far as we can, specifically giving the parameters of this matchup. Liquid and G2 will be our second best of 1 of the day, and well, this could be a rather one-sided affair. To be delivered, though, will be brought to you by Harry and Hugo, brothers from Brighton. Take it away, guys.
Yeah, you know, bound by blood and by Brighton. That's what we say, Hugo. Team Liquid versus G2. We're about to head into this one over on Nuke. Not exactly the map that we would have expected to see, but it's going to be interesting nonetheless. I love a bit of Nuke. It doesn't crop up all too much, so Liquid going to be fast playing over here. Ooh, that's a nice shot from Shox. He's going to be getting off to a good start here. And actually, Existence chiming in with another, so Liquid certainly not off to the start that they would have liked. Already losing a couple of players here and there in the form of Elysian Taco. Nitro is going to go and get this bomb down, but they're pushing Twists, and they're going to go ahead and find him. Oh, Nitro versus the world. 1v5 required.
Yeah, and what a chase outside from G2. I mean, I've not seen that much team play from this roster in months. They triple push the outside players, leaving Nitro alone. And surely this one's going to be unrealistic. He finds 2, but not going to be happening here. G2 do get that retake in the 5-on-1. 3 kills from Existence as well. And yeah, this is definitely going to be a weird game, right? Obviously, you know, G2, and I mean, French players have liked this map for a while. Look at Kenny, look at Shox. They've definitely had some good times on Nuke before, but yeah, this team's in turmoil right now, Harry. I'm not sure what they can pull out. Luckily, a pistol round will be good for them to start things off, but what's Liquid's game plan moving forward?
Well, they've gone ahead and purchased up an AK, as we can see on our screens. That's been thrown over to NAF. So trying to go with the Catalyst rifle into this. And we get to see the replay from Shox.
This was crazy.
A little flick on up.
Wow.
Don't know how he does it. Here's the 3K from Existence as well. Yeah, you see one of them, but, you know, he got 3. I'm curious to see how this buy is going to be shaping up here for Team Liquid. Yeah, there's just the one rifle in play to see what NAF can do in this round.
The problem is only one person got a kill in that previous, and that was Nitro, so it's not like you can buy up AKs on anyone else, and he's the only man with any money to do that. So that's why we've had that. There's not really much point fully investing into this one anyway. G2 are going to be armed to the teeth. I mean, Kenny's even saving for the AWP. They're confident on the side of G2.
I mean, the thing that the desk kind of talked about, touched on, and you know, we're all quite aware of is, you know, for G2, obviously this isn't their usual, or at least their new roster, right? They having to play with Existence and Smiths, which is going to be interesting, obviously. Not able to find one, but it's instantly equalized here by Existence. He's still having a good showing over here towards outside. Does start to back away. Liquid, what's the plan here? They got 40 seconds left. They're going to be leaving outside, heading back, rejoining up with Taco. Going to look to try and hit this A-bomb site, perhaps. With these Deegs and the AK, only Body and Smith's here, but they have to first get past this MP9, and they're not going to be able to do so as Smith's lighting up the scoreboard. Shox chubbing with another. It's just NAF left, and he will drop. So G2, a second round to their name as they find the pistol and convert on the back of it. Now the buy able to come in for Team Liquid. Lee's going to be buying up that Krieg early on. You know, he's one of the main adopters of this out in NA. Big fan of it.
To note something that could work in G2's favor, I mean, it could work for either team, but more likely the underdog in this game is the fact that these teams don't really play each other, right? We had this this matchup over at the E-League Major at the start of the year, but I mean, that wasn't even the full roster then, and even now it's a different team somewhat. We had them at New York. That was a 2-0 for Liquid, and since then, there's just not been games between these guys, so there's maybe somewhat of an element of surprise, plus the looser style that G2 might pull into this game, considering the current roster situation with both Smiths in Existence, but definitely keep your eyes on them, see how they're playing into this game. I'd be quite excited to see. Obviously, they are going to be up for taking by other teams, but for now, it's Liquid fast playing that yard, getting themselves down towards B. G2 aware of the possibility, and they have rotated a man down, but how much can he do against this ensemble of teams?
Oh, that nade does a little bit of chip damage onto the likes of Elysian Twist. Elysian can be brought down to that one-shot headshot realm up against these M4s, and Smiths will get caught off guard by that push out from Nitro. They've smoked it, but they've not committed. Existence first going to try and clear out wind. Hasn't spotted anyone here. He knows that Elise is nearby. There's still more players testing the waters, and Existence continuing to put up these numbers. He's going to go ahead and find his 7th kill in that round. Shox now onto the board with another. G2 looking good in this retake. Suddenly it's only NAF left standing. We're into the 1v1. Shox v NAF. Bomb is planted and ticking down. NAF's in a spot to keep an eye on it, but the smoke's on it, and he's not ready. This is the defuse, and G2 going to be moving 3-0 up.
Yeah, balls are still. I mean, if there was any game where you were going to go for that kind of play, this is going to be it. You want to pull in that crazy, unpredictable style, and Shox just jumps on the bomb, and there's nothing NAF can do about it. You could see he didn't want to commit to that fight because his only option is, considering the bomb's not planted for him, either do what he did and hide, try and fake his move out, or fully commit to the fight and walk out into the open. And at that point, you're just taking an aim battle versus Shox, which is not what you want to be doing. So a very hard situation to play for NAF, but good decision by Shox to stick the bomb. And that will be, as you said, G2 running off with a 3-0. Great start to this map, but in this round, Liquid, hey, they are on 3 AKs, and I don't know if this round is live, it looks like.
Yeah, you'd hope not, right?
I was like, how have they only got 3 AKs?
It's the next gen call, you know, he's dug deep in the old brain box for this one. He's like, let's just not move.
I wonder if he's still calling into this game.
Yeah,
that's
I
don't know. Like, does Shox cool now, considering he's calling with a new G2 roster?
That's going to be the, I mean, you would imagine so, right?
He's had enough, mate.
Yeah, he's just walking out. That's it. They're going to bring in the other two.
He's sitting in the middle, so...
Yeah, but...
So what we can tell here is Existence. He's moving on. He's done with this team, and he's now becoming an
admin.
An admin. Yeah. He's fixing the PCs.
What a guy. He does it all. He's really making a name for himself. You know, go ahead. You know, he's looking for an org now. He can do everything.
ESL.
Bit of tech support here and there. You know, bit of being a pretty sick aimer. Pretty good IGL. But yeah, I mean, just waiting for this to get resolved. The Existence clearly wasn't the man for the job. They're going to try and bring in someone a little more qualified, perhaps, to fix this one. And yeah, I mean, the thing that's interesting is, is it going to be the case that Smiths and Existence, as we're kind of seeing now from Existence, are they going to have a great game because they're allowed to play, just kind of a looser style? Or, I don't know if you've ever like had a job where you know that you're quitting anyway, so you just sort of give up, right? maybe even like start a small fire in the building. I don't know. I mean, it just depends how much you hate the job or how much they hate you. Hopefully Existence doesn't opt to do that. That'd be terrifying.
Kenny doing his warm-up routine.
It's important to stay limber. You don't want to pull I don't know what the arm equivalent of like what's an arm muscle? I almost said hamstring, but that's very much in like the leg, isn't it? I don't know. The beef string. That sounds awful. Let's never use that.
Hey, baby, you want to see my beef string?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Oh, can we move on?
I'm veggie, man. Right, so... yeah, I mean, important thing to note, the G2 guys, they're laughing, having a good time, but the Liquid boys are looking focused as ever. Yeah, I think justifiably so. G2 got off to a good start. Hugo, do you want to try and take a look at, is there a B stream live?
Well, I just heard a team scream in joy in the other room. So unless that's, Trace and Chad and that lot loving the fact that we're on a long pause, I'd imagine it was either Big or INTZ, but I just checked and I don't see the game being live just yet.
Oh, no, it is. It's just, they're in the piss around, Hugo.
Okay.
So, I'll await confirmation on who was able to pick up the first round, but we'll know where those cheers came from. I'm going to guess INTZ, they're a bit more of a cheery team,
yeah, that makes sense.
And yeah, it was. They were able to find themselves the piss around on that matchup. That's going on over on Train. That's going to be a belter as well. But I don't think you want to go anywhere. I think, we started the day with like kind of two of the more stompy games, right? Astralis versus Vici, obviously, over on the B stream. And here we had Hellraisers versus Renegades, which, wasn't really meant to be a stomp, but it was a stomp regardless. And now we move into the games I think should be a little bit closer. I think G2 can give Team Liquid a run for their money, if I'm being honest with you, just because there's so many unknown factors, right?
Yeah.
This is... there's a lot of moving parts to this game, and there's a lot that we can't even keep track of. This is like playing chess in 3 dimensions. You ever tried that, Hugo?
No.
Doesn't work.
No.
Well, I mean, it is 3D in the sense it's like in the world,
If
right?
isn't that 4D?
Well, no, I don't know what the difference is. I don't feel qualified enough.
Couple of more numbers.
Couple more, yeah. I mean, that's all it is, right? At the end of the day.
G2 do have a couple to their name though. If you
G2D.
G3D right now.
Yeah.
They're 3-0 up against Liquid for those who just joined us. We're on a technical pause rather. INTZ sounds so... I don't know. I hope the mics are picking this up, but INTZ are getting very keen in the other room, which is good to hear. Obviously, coming into this event as severe underdogs, right? We have a few cool storylines, right? Some teams that we maybe haven't seen play at this tier of event, at least not consistently, right? We saw them at Bello, for example, hometown heroes, but not exactly finding the most success there. So maybe, a few months later, a couple of roster changes later, a bit more success. Who knows?
I think the one that a lot of people are looking forward to seeing is this Ghost Gaming roster and how they fare, right? Because obviously we've seen a few events here and there, but this is really the trial by fire for this team. They had a great season online. They were the first team to qualify, if I'm not mistaken, alongside the likes of MIBR. So, I mean, that's going to be very interesting because obviously, you've got Steel going on over there. That's going to be, I mean, I'm a big fan of just kind of watching how he's built this team up and how he's helped to kind of construct everything around it. But it looks like everything is all sorted. Technical Officer-in-Chief Existence was able to crunch the numbers on this one. And, we did see a few buys coming in, and indeed it is. The wait is over, everyone. We're back in it to this game. You can see Existence leading the charge, 186 ADR. What's even happening? Smiths is in second. It's all going wrong.
All right, who knows?
Yeah, only time will tell.
That's what we were joking about earlier. We were like, if G2 won this event, oh, okay, it's not live. Get pranked. If G2 won this event, would they keep this roster? Would they be like, Smiths? Hey.
Yeah, it's like bringing back up like,
it's like jumping in the Instagram DMs.
Yeah, I know we just split up, but I made a big mistake.
I think we've both grown as people.
Yeah. I think we could really build something together. Existence.
Oh dear.
I love. Why do you only say Smith's not getting the call back? They don't.
I said Smith.
Oh, okay.
You said Existence.
Oh, yeah, right.
So actually,
me,
it's all about the diversity, Harry.
Yeah.
I said one, you said the other. Everyone's getting included.
It's like
apart from Jackson Lucky. But we are back into this one. 3-0 for G2. A very surprising start to a very interesting matchup, but Liquid have got guns upon guns. No AWP yet in play on the T side, at least, because Kenny S, he's pulled his in nice and early. We remember that USP in the second round to facilitate the money. He's watching the yard from a passive position, and we do have Shox nearby in the lurking in the depths below. He may be called to question because there are smokes outside, but Liquid are only throwing in a bit of a fake. There's one man who at least peered out there, that was Naf, but now they've gone back into the lobby. Potential for an A crunch here, but no main split by any means at the moment. There's a man on roof right now, but G2 just playing passive, not giving Liquid the opportunity for a pick as they try and work all areas of the map, watching towards the squeaky door, keeping their eyes set on ramp, but now it will be that A push.
What? The frag's going left and right, but ultimately it's going to be G2 emerging victorious. Naf left in the 1v3, as now he's going to try and stand tall on his own. A lot to do, and that smoke's going to start to dissipate. That's going to give Shox some vision over here. From outside, that Molotov does just fall a little bit short to force him entirely out. Actually, he's going to go pushing through it. They double peek into it, and G2 find themselves a 4th round here, moving 4-0 up. Team Liquid yet to really materialize too much over here on their T side. Now, it obviously is a CT-sided map, right? So you always have to take that into consideration. I think, you know, if there ever was a time where maybe G2 would start to really feel the pressure, it's going to be over on that T side because you have to run those much more, you know, kind of orchestrated setups. You have to have players trading and setting each other up well, and that's something that maybe now changes with Smiths and Existence leaving.
Well, they're going to be out of practice. Smiths tweeted earlier on today, you know, this is the first time playing with this team in a month, right? And obviously that's fair enough. G2 did just make these roster changes, so they of course want to practice with their new players. They just played DreamHack Winter this weekend, but that means Smiths and Existence have not had time to go over anything. G2 are coming into this one running off of, you know, a month's old strategy, and so much can change in a month, but hey, I guess G2 suddenly have gotten good again, it seems, at least for now. 4-0. Naf, he's on that scout. We've got pistols alongside Team Liquid, and Shox, he gets tagged a little bit. That opens up the possibility of taking ramp, but Existence re-peeking will shut down Taco. Liquid giving up on that position and deciding to reroute for now.
You know, this is just the partial investment from Team Liquid, so they're not expecting too much. They are going to be setting up over here toward this ramp position, at least right now. Nitro's there with the bomb on his back. Shox has been pretty convincing over here in the ramp room, and he does have Kenny S lingering around nearby with that AWP to try and help out. Smoke goes down. That's going to get thrown in by Kenny, and that will send Liquid away from B for the time being. They're going to try and find solace in this A-bomb site. They might come to regret that. Body going to be joined here along with Existence. Elise setting up this one flashbang to head on in. Nitro's going to be the man with the other. And Naf, ooh, he is there with the best Kenny S, but now Shox arriving on this push in from ramp. Nitro going to drop Body, and suddenly just Smiths and Existence left standing inside of A, but they're going to make it work. As Smith shuts down 3, G2 going to be moving 5-0 up, and it is Smiths and Existence leading the charge right now.
An unbelievable round from Naf, even though they lose it. He drops that AWP back in the yard with his scout. He headshots Kenny S, and they don't get to pick it up after the round as well. So if G2 want the AWP, they're going to have to rebuy it, and that's exactly what they do. That really is a kick in the teeth when it comes down to money, but the positive is they're 5-0 up, Harry. This is a ridiculous start. Obviously, only an anti-eco or an anti-force buy in that previous round, but Smiths in Existence coming in clutch on the A-bomb site, and G2 making a name for themselves here in Odense. Look at this push from Liquid. They're going back in. This time they're waiting for no one. It's a fast play on this A-bomb site. Body going to get overwhelmed. Now it's just Smiths up in the heaven. The smoke is down to cut off Existence, and he'll flash himself right through into the hands of Nitro. Finally a round that seems to be working out for Liquid.
Nade does very heavy damage up on a Nitro, but he's able to get this bomb down. Plenty of utility still left up here on this Liquid side, so they might be looking down the barrel of their first round here on this T side. Kenny lingering around, but he's not too keen on peeking into anything, and yeah, it will just be the save called on in from G2.
It's fine, that player's behind the
Yeah, there is a vent in the way.
Yeah.
Going to be the first round on the board here for the Liquid boys. It took them a little while, but it was just a fast play in toward A that allowed them to find the success, and now they can look to try and build up on the back of it. It's not the most clean of fights to win. Shox does manage to pick up the first. Smith is going to come on in and save the day. Oh, and actually another man falls to the bomb. So pretty disastrous looking round there for Liquid. Is, you know, they almost get out of 4 players staying alive. They might win the round, right? But you lose the majority of your guys, and that's Shox and Smith kind of chipping them down as they tried to lead the bomb site.
The problem with that is when you win your first round after losing a streak and you don't save enough guns, it means you're really susceptible to getting reset here. So if we do see G2 bounce back again and pick up the 6th round in this one, Liquid, they're going to have no money and they're going to be put into a force buy situation. We already see how little came out of their last one. A couple of kills from Naf, otherwise pretty unsuccessful, but at least they can buy up here. And they are looking back for another fast A play, but G2 shut down any possibility of that with the quick Molotovs towards the door. We even have Body on the auto shotgun. Smith's, well, he's been out of a team, he's been practicing his KZ, and he shows us, bouncing away from those shots through the door. Still Kenny with the AWP as well. He's actually come up true lower, but it seems like Liquid, they may consider outside. They have 2 smokes left up to go for this, and already starting to leave the lobby, a lead leading the charge, and potentially opening up this avenue down towards B. Will Kenny let them pass?
Well, not looking like it just yet. There's the man in question picking up the early advantage here for G2, and he's not going to get tested anymore. They do just opt instead to take control of outside. Taco able to shut down one more. Now starting to push on in, and Body, oh, and Existence, both here, both in the heart. Now they emerge, and that's certainly not the spray of a lifetime, but will they be ready for Body here? They hear these footsteps coming in from ramp. The auto shotgun, only good for 1. That does buy them a little bit more time as it denies that bomb plant. Kenny S now arriving at the mark, but he's going to get shut down, and that leaves Shox 1v2, MP9 in hand. He's going to be able to retrieve the SG, but decides against it. And, ooh, maybe with good reason. Taco gonna get wrecked. The flash is there, and Shox is able to win it out in the 1v2. So G2, a 6th round to their name. I don't know how they're managing it, but they are.
What on earth? Shox is 10-1 right now. That's a great round from him. He didn't want to take the SG. He wanted the mobility of Jiggle peeking from behind those boxes. And hey, A site, fairly close range. You knew both players were on the site. That's a nice clutch from Shox, but definitely somewhat given away by Liquid. And as said in the previous, this is going to really hurt their money. Bomb plant really is worth its weight in gold here, but Liquid, they're mainly on bronze right now, or silver actually makes more sense for this team. Not quite the most money that they would have liked coming into this next round. And the AWP even saved here for Kenny S for another try. And there it is. Yeah, look at that money. Oof. How's your French, Harry?
I was trying to think of something funny to say in French as like a reply to say, and I just don't even know any. Ça va? There you go.
Ça va
What does
bien.
that mean? That's
That
like,
means
how are you? Yeah,
Ça
there
va
you go.
good.
Brilliant. No, there's no French here. But there's Frenchmen in the server, and they're doing a fantastic job of things right now. Team Liquid, I can speak their language a bit. Sadly, we didn't get to hear their comms, but you imagine they're a little bit colourful right now, just considering how this game's gotten off. What sort of start it's gotten off. 2 Shox gonna get tested once again over here at ramp. He hears all these footsteps, and Kenny's so quick on that rotation, instantly there to back him up. So Team Liquid never even show their hand at this people. The ramp position. Instead, it's Taco and Elish to open things up. Body trying to put Elish back on the beast that is Team Liquid. Now it falls to Shox to try and reel them in, and he falls. Existence left in the 1v3. And oh, quick turnaround. Existence trying to save this round here. Still has Nitro to find. And he's just going to miss the timing, so Nitro wins it out, and Liquid picking up a second on the back of what was just pistols.
That was a really sick round for Liquid, and the reason being is because they throw that instant main smoke, right? They rush towards ramp. What that does is it seems just like your casual A fake B rush, right? Or ramp rush. We see, as you say, Kenny rotating, Shox falls down from heaven, and then Liquid, before they even get out ramp, they just turn around. They fake the footsteps, they go back in towards A, which has a smoke still covering main to cut off the outside rotation, and G2 aren't even in the site. I mean, Shox gets caught coming back up heaven. Kenny S, similar story. And G2 were just not ready for the pace of that round. Everyone on Liquid gets a kill. It's a team ace, and it's a second T-side round on the board.
Yeah, now we are, conversely, Team Liquid going to be the team in kind of economic control of this one. A chance to start to pull ahead if they manage to pick this up. Well, not ahead, but rather just claw your way back into this game. because there is no more money left for G2. They've gone for this partial investment into this round now. They're going to be eco in the next. Smiths. Lying away with the D. He's going to go ahead and shut down the first man. Smith's hungry for a little bit more. Does find damage. Body's dropped instantly, though. The trade's just not there, never materializing. And now Shock's posted up along with Kenny. Still all 3 players for G2 down at this B-bomb site. Existence very wary that someone might be rapid on round. And Nitro's going to spot out Kenny. So 1 by 1, this G2 defense starts to falter. Existence, here he is, the Deagle. Good for 1 more. It's Shock's left up in a 1v3, but he does have this position at least hidden away. They don't know his whereabouts just yet. That door's going to open and twists. Pivoting round, picks him up nice and easy. A third for Liquid. And we'll be back to the drawing board for G2 in the next round as they don't have any money to play around with.
I'm just trying to listen to what Liquid are talking about. I'd love to know, because obviously we don't have team comms anywhere else, right? So I'd love to know, you know, how they're discussing trying to get back into this game. It's certainly looking like this could be the road to recovery for Liquid in these last couple of rounds, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see 6-6 in just a moment. But G2 not getting too much done on the eco. They do some damage. They can't convert it to kills. However, here's another one of those. Existence, great shot early on. Will decapitate Twist off the top of this silo. And in the meantime, Liquid have fast played out a bomb site, which is going to be great. G2 having no one here, all outside. Nice shot from Smith. These pistols are proving to be somewhat fatal to Liquid, but the round is still by and large going to be in their favor. Guns may be saved and players may be killed, but there's no kit to G2, and they're not looking like they can get back in through this heaven.
Yeah, this should just be the lockdown now. Smiths is nearby with that SG, with the Krieg, and he tries to peek on in. The aim punch plays into it, and he will get shut down. Body's going to manage 1 more. So, you know, all in all, for G2, a great round in terms of doing damage to Team Liquid, but not going to be the win. The buy now coming on through, and Existence still leading the charge, 13 and 8, 120 ADR. Shock's falling in just behind. The worrying prospect for me going to be Kenny S, currently sitting at the bottom of the board for G2. He's someone that we so often talk about within this squad as being, you know, the man that kind of has to be stepping up. And, you know, then you amplify that by the fact that it's Nuke, right? Your CT side AWPing is going to be some of the most influential AWPing you get to do in the game. And, you know, they've had the money to have it out in the majority of these rounds either. It's not like it hasn't been materializing, so...
That's awkward. It does convert the kill regardless. Kenny S is going to find one with the AWP, and it's again left to Nitro in the 1-on-5. He tries to drop Benson, but Shox is already holding it. 1 step ahead. A team ace instead for G2. That was a fast-playing round. Liquid just going quickly into the bomb site and into their own doom. And yeah, everyone's stepping up for G2. What you like to see.
I feel like I hear the keyboards louder than the voices. How intensely are they pushing the keys?
They just got those big red cherries, you know? Or is it browns? I don't know. I'm not a keyboard man. Get James in here.
You a fan of a... I don't want to go on with that. Yeah, we're just gonna... Taco's going to get Molotov'd out from the hub. And Smith, he's playing with fire himself. He's able to pick up Nitro. More players coming his way. Turns away from the flash and does get caught as a result. Now it falls to Body. And actually, Body falls, rather, as he gets dropped. Kenny doesn't last too long either. Existence and Shox, the 2 players leading the charge for G2. It is just Existence left standing. He's growing facial hair. With that, has he grown wiser, perhaps, as he backs away? Going to make the decision to go ahead and save. It's a 1v3. Not really fancying his odds. He's going to get hunted down and guillotined anyway. Just has a habit of getting cut in that sense. But yeah, Team Liquid picking up a 5th round.
Yeah, very nice start. I mean, Liquid are just going for so many A crunches, round after round, just constantly fast playing their spawns. We've been seeing a lot more of that since the spawns got moved on this T side and CT side, that being said. So it doesn't actually change too much. It just makes it seem like a lot easier to go for those fast A plays. And obviously, G2 not being able to deal with that problem, are down on pistols once again. A buy round removed, and Liquid get 1 step closer to clawing back into this game. Existence, though, he is very aggressive, and he finds a dig on Nitro setting up utility, just fades back through the smoke. That's a really good call from Existence, not overstaying the welcome, not giving away the trade. In fact, it will be him going down eventually, but Smith's in the meantime pushing up into the lobby, gets another 1-for-1. 1-for-1s on rounds like this, where you only have pistols with no armor, up against full bought Ts, is really good for G2.
Sadly, it all falls apart as Shox goes down over here at ramp. That equal 3-on-3 that we saw isn't going to be... Kenny doesn't stand the test of time either, and now it's just body left up. And will it be bodies hitting the floor inside of this B-bomb site? Let's see. Oh, they've double smoked him off. It's pretty brutal.
Playing it safe. Last time Liquid were down on this B-bomb site, we had Shox hiding in the decontamination room, and Liquid had no idea. Twist obviously killed him, but it got a little bit awkward, so G2 don't want to make the same... Liquid don't want to make the same mistake. They cover everything with utility. Elige peeks through the Molotov, and that'll be his third kill of the round. Nice work. Getting rid of the eco of G2. But if they want to get that 7-7, Harry, they're going to need one more buy round, and it will be here. And no AWP for Kenny, notably enough.
And let's not forget, I mean, this was 6-1 in favor of G2 at one point in time. You know, now we're almost stood at this point where it can go 7-7, it can go all tied up. So it's been a great recovery from Team Liquid. And, you know, as we kind of said, with G2, there's that big caveat of the fact this isn't their roster. So it's like, what really can they take away from this game if it starts to elude them? But let's see. Smiths is up here on top of the hut once again, having a good time of things inside of this A-bomb. So able to find the man advantage as he best Taco once more. And now Elige creeping forward with the Krieg. Won't find anything just yet, but we do know that Kenny likes to go peeking his little head out from time to time toward this outside area. Currently, Twisted Nitro been able to sneak on past. Existence lies in wait over in the garage, holding down the push in toward that A-bomb site. Does have potential crossfire set up with Smiths if he does decide to duck back up through that vent.
One of the big details is here is Liquid, they have an idea that Existence is here, but they have no smoke to cover off main, and that could be why that position is so powerful, the crossfire. Luckily enough, the flashbangs get Nitro in, and he can take down Existence, because you can see they're very aware of that setup from G2, because there was no AWP fighting outside. Liquid now back into a 4-on-4 after that trade, and Elige is going to be going up into the heaven. We saw Kenny climb here earlier. He's on the rafters, and the flashbang will give away the fact that Elige is pushed, or at least the idea of that. 35 seconds left, though, Harry. They've got to go quickly. Bodies on the site, Kenny in upper, and no one else even close by to stop this push.
Yeah, this all falls on to Kenny. What can he do? He's the man in the hot seat right now for G2. He's losing absolutely everyone, but there's only 15 seconds left. This bomb's going to go down, and Body, while he does get bested, this bomb's headed down toward the B bomb site. So Kenny has a long path ahead of him. He's taking it as fast as he can. He's got his running shoes on. And he has managed to pick up Nitro. So now into the 1v1. He's not ready for Naf. How's he been allowed to get out this far? Naf! It's only a 1v1. He's just toying with him.
I think he's just messing with this.
There we go.
It almost looked for a second like Naf thought there was another player.
Yeah, he just said it. Yeah, I thought it was a 2v1.
He looked up to Ramp, and I was like, what's going on? Wow, it's getting that easy for Liquid, but they don't even know how many enemies they're facing. Nice work from Naf, though. He does clear it up. 7-7 here, and a rare smile on Nafly's face after he wins that near impossible 2v1.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like 1v4 before and you don't even see him like be like, yeah, but like, you know, he's having a big old laugh. almost
shoot someone in the 1v1. Yeah. Last round of the half, though, and another A push for Liquid. They are, oh no, not going to commit with it. It's early nades towards main, but they didn't follow up despite the lack of Molotovs, and I mean, probably good for them. Look at this buy from G2, it screams close range.
It does indeed. They're going to try and do the damage over here inside of this A-bomb. So Liquid and Taco this time. He hasn't had the best of showings in towards it. He has been bested a couple of times on the entry. This time he's going to be able to win it out. Body. Gets bodied, and now Existence, Smiths and Shox left on standing. And one by one, they're just going to you know, as I say their names, it's like a death note. So Existence, 1v4. Smokes down, Molotov's there. There's absolutely no way he gets through that. They're going to re-molly it just to add insult to injury. Salt in the wound, lemon in the eye.
Tequila in the mouth.
It's like a really weird shot, isn't it? It's like, yeah, you just got to rub the salt into that flesh wound. And then that just wouldn't be fun. I mean, it's not fun anyway. Here's Existence. Up in heaven. He's going to get shut down. Shocks fall shortly after a Team Liquid. They're able to win out the half. What was a team, that was looking a little bit shaky in the opening stages, allowing G2 to go 6-1 up. They instantly turn it around. They find their footing. They get back up on their feet, rather, and it's going to be an 8-7 half in favor of Team Liquid. Now moving into their CT side, the easier of the two. And, and with this kind of defunct G2 roster over on their T side now, it's going to be a bit of a struggle.
And surely this one's going to be unreal.
Oh.
Ooh, that was nice. Yeah, it's looking good for Liquid. I can't help but say this is probably going to be a bit more domination from them as we move over to the CT side. I'd love to think G2 have something up their sleeve here, but you do have to remember that, as said, this team has not practiced with this roster for over a month now. That just makes things so difficult when you move over to not only the T side, Harry, but the hardest T side in the game. That is Nuke. And G2, they've really got a lot up against them. Again, the pressure really is off for the majority of these players here, but what have they got up their sleeves as we head into that second half? Liquid finding their form a little bit later, and well, the momentum definitely shifting in their favor as we head into it. Scores on the doors. NAF 19 and 8, looking very good with 120 ADR. Existence and Smiths top of G2 here.
Of course.
Expected.
Yeah. Maybe they're just, maybe G2 just getting lucky, and Jax. But we'll see. You can see those betway odds. They've changed around a little bit from how you imagine they might have been earlier on, with G2 getting off to a good start. Now it's very much Team Liquid, the favorites, as they really rightfully should be, right? This is a team that's vying for that top spot, the team that's been trying to challenge and best Astralis, that still haven't quite crossed that hurdle yet, but they've got their first taste for victory just a few days ago out of the event that took place in Malta. So, I mean, this is one that they should be winning, and pretty convincingly so. I mean, I think even allowing G2 to find 7 rounds is maybe more than Team Liquid anticipated heading into this one. Twist, Nitro, and NAF opening up in this round. It's Kenny and Body left standing. These two, they have been playing together. They have been practicing. So let's see, is all that practice, is all that synergy, that teamwork, will it pay off for them here?
I think you're going to need more than teamwork to win a 2-on-5 like this. Liquid just have such overpowered positioning. They've got A, they're watching the vent with 2 players. They've got B with 2 as well. Body's trying to roam outside to try and find a flank as Kenny creates distraction up on the door. Elige not caught on that cross, and he was very low, so could have been dangerous. But, I mean, where does Kenny even go here? If he goes up, he's dead. If he goes down, he's dead. So, pick your poison. Great shot, though. What? He's not going to expect the second play, but Twist is so low. He needs that finishing blow. He finds it. Bomb dropped. No time left here for Body, and there's no repeat as well coming out from Heaven. Good luck.
Yeah, there's just absolutely no way. Look at this Team Liquid, like moths to a flame. They're all around this bomb, and Body, while he has picked up the first man. Oh, he's ducked down the vents.
Surely.
He's got his running shoes on. He's charging on in. There's no way that he gets the bomb down here. Surely not.
Oh,
Body,
he's got it.
He's punching in the numbers. He's got the bomb plant. Now in a 1v3, and there we go. They finally managed to deal with him, but that's a lot more than G2 ever should have had in that round.
Yeah, that never should have come down to that situation. I mean, Liquid had a 5-on-2 with every site under control. They start roaming and rotating once those kills come through from Kenny, and that's fair enough. But yeah, nice catch to run down towards B in the 1v3. It works out wonderfully. I didn't think there was time, but just in the nick of it. 9-7 here, still going to be Liquid winning the round as we would expect. And G2, yeah, definitely going to buy after that one. They are French and they are forcing. Of course, after a bomb plant, they can get 2 AKs, a Galil. Pretty decent buy considering they actually lost it. And Liquid running a lot of SMGs as well means this is certainly not unwinnable for G2.
They do have a chance at this round. The famed French force bite. Immediately, though, Nitro's here on this MP9. It churns down Existence. He's still hungry for more. And now he's got the AK to work with. All right.
Happens to the best of us. Oh, Naf, great spray though. Holds down the yard and shuts down both players in there. It's just the early attack shocks from the silo and Smiths with no armor. Does hear that drop down towards B, but Taco, he's going to be ready for this fight no matter who he faces. Only 1 or 2 bullets needed to take down Shocks on this peak. The flash may be there, but Taco is prepared. He'll spot Smiths, and there we go. This should be the cleanup. It is. Taco even gets an AK upgrade as well. That's the only problem with those kind of rounds. Is like, you know, Liquid are playing SMGs, and you're just giving them 2 AKs. Now we've got 4 rifles into this round for Liquid before that 5th buy comes through, so G2 are going to have a very tough time in this round.
Yeah, they almost certainly are, right? That's just Team Liquid kind of cracking the whip in that sense. You know, G2, it's like, you're going to be having a tough time of it here. They know they are. They went for the force, and now they just have to grind out an eco round. You do have a smoke on existence, so maybe they're going to try something a little bit fancier here. He could look to throw that here toward outside. Nitro's keeping an eye on it with this, with the AUG. Taps down Shocks, and now has support in the form of Naf. Alicia's here as well. There's a lot of guns outside.
What's this skin, man? That's awesome. I've not seen that before.
Yeah, me either, actually.
No, not that one, Nitro.
No, no, yeah. Whip it out.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit forward with Nitro, but... Well, Kenny had that impressive Glock shot just a couple of rounds ago. Not able to find anything with the Deeg just yet. In fact, it's Nitro having himself a party here outside.
It's a pretty boring party.
It's a flat-out orgy, as they've managed 4 with the Orcs outside. 11-7 is the scoreline. There's the scores out the doors, as they say, and G2 going to be looking to pick up their buy here. Existence and Smith still leading the charge. We need to see the 3-man core of G2. The team we've come to expect so much from some of these guys, or at least that's the hope, right, with this new roster. We need to see the core, the 3 players that have been playing together, step on up and complement the likes of Smiths and Existence. If G2 want to have a hope in hell of grinding their way back into this game, because Liquid, now they have that lead under their belt. They have a very firm lead at that, because the reset's looming over G2. Kenny's got the AWP out, no armor behind it. This now becomes a bit of a pivotal moment here for the French squad.
And you can see the warning shots there. Nitro, it's a very risky move, but he actually ran through yard to get down to secret. Now, the T's get there before you typically, but if you throw in utility, you can delay their early peak. So it's exactly what Nitro did. He gets down into position, but then the warning shots through the wall make it very clear that G2 know he's there, and he'll have to back off. He doesn't want to be in a predictable position. Elige wraps back towards the spawn to watch any kind of push through the hell or heaven spot, because these close smokes do allow G2 to take control of the garage. Shots from the back. Body's got to be very careful, but he has cleared it out. And they've even cut off the back of the garage as well. This allows him to check in deep without getting shot from heaven or hell. But as those smokes fade, G2 need to try and move into a bomb site. 50 seconds on the clock, the lobby push coming out from Liquid. They want information. They need it now. Naf has taken a kill versus Smiths, and now it's just these outside players with a lead in such a powerful position. I mean, who would check this? Especially when you have Taco trying to take away their attention by getting kills there. Body half checks it, but he flicks back round, and this is just a complete mop-up from Liquid. A really nice reaction to a pretty decent execute from G2.
Oh. Kenny almost offered down his teammate.
If that was 2015, Kenny, Shocks would have been dead.
That's very true. But they will just be saving Hugo. They're going to be holding on to the AK and the AWP. Team Liquid now at 12th round at 2 their name, and 4 players staying alive. Things go from bad to worse here for this G2 side. Money is plentiful and high in supply for the CT side. G2 sadly aren't as fortunate. They are going to be approaching that max loss bonus. Actually, they should be there, right, with the...
yeah, the money changes.
Yeah,
that was the 4th round, so you're right.
Still,
that sometimes catches me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, still vaguely getting used to it. It's weird, but regardless, they will be grabbing that at the very least. The investment here going to allow them to field an extra AK alongside Shocks with his body. Likely just going to be relegated down to a Deagle and armor, something along those lines. Certainly not the buy you want at a 7-12 scoreline, with kind of Liquid really pulling ahead in the last 10 or so rounds.
Yeah, when was the last time G2 even won a round? I mean, that was, you know, like 4 before the end of the half. So it's been, what, 7 now? 8 rounds? Because they've won the first 4 on the CT side, and frankly, it seems no sign of stopping here for Liquid. G2, another buy, Kenny on the glass cannon once again, saved as we know, and they've fought around it, so they've got themselves 3 AKs. Obviously one of them coming from that previous round alongside Kenny, but he's going straight out into the yard. This man does not need smokes, he wants kills instead. G2 playing around their AWPer, and not a bad decision considering how good Kenny can be, but Liege looking to try and disrupt this entire round. He'll get completely nothing in the secret. Now the rotations come down towards B as G2 pick up the pace.
Ooh, bit of a slam dunk nade from Naf, but sadly doesn't find much. There's now Nitro and Taco here inside of B to try and stand at their ground. Taco's instantly bested, and now Nitro with the AUG able to get one, but that's it. And Twists 1v4 required. Does have the FAMAS. Plenty of money here for Team Liquid, so they can justify, you know, throwing a man at this retake if they want to try and go for it, but they do still like to play it safe. He's going to look to try and save. G2 going to be picking up an 8th round, and it's all on the back of that fast play down through Secret, picking up a Liege, finding the players inside of that B bomb site and just collapsing on in.
Yeah, good off plant for Twist to try and catch saving players, but G2 playing it safe, grouping up, going all towards Secret instead, and they're not going to be losing any players right now. You won't take damage if you stand in that top corner of Secret by the stairs, and that's where the Frenchmen are going. So 8 rounds here, Harry. We say they need a round. It's been 8 in a row for Liquid, and finally, well, it happens. G2 are not rolling over in this terrorist half, and that was one of our worries coming into it, considering this team has not been practicing together recently. The side of Liquid definitely looking good to bounce back though, and of course a reset potential coming through despite those 4-gun saves for G2. I'd imagine they force in if they lost this round, but let's see if we even get to that yet. Twist is having a slow start to this matchup, but it's not a huge worry for Liquid. They are still holding a fairly commanding lead, and they are on the favored side. Maybe we'll see him step up if Liquid need, you know, a hero.
Existence. Sneaky beaky like towards outside, and he does have a man here to help him. That's going to be Kenny up on top of the silo. Oh, sadly, Nitro going to be there to pick Kenny out from this round, and now it is just Existence and Body floating around outside. They're not able to find the trade as Nitro has just hightailed it away from this position. Reinforcing the hold at ramp. They can hear the footsteps. They know what's going on. Shock's going to look to try and pressure the man down here in hell. That's a Liege. I tell you what, he certainly is looking a bit demonic with that. He's done a deal with the devil, and he's looking fantastic for it. It is just Existence now in a 1v5. Able to shut down a Liege just barely. But still has 4 more players yet to find here on this Team Liquid side, and Existence with it all to do. Has to first deal with retrieving that bomb, and that's no small matter either. There are 2 players just sitting on it from Liquid. Taco's wrapped around, and this should be all she wrote. Indeed it is. Team Liquid 13 to 8 now, and the money back down in the depths for this G2 side.
And this is why it can be so hard to get play against Liquid on this map when they hit the CT side. I mean, this team just has such a variety of setups. They give up yard in this one after getting the pick with the man advantage. They double play B. Liege is watching hell from this angle. And I mean, once you give up ramp, you're never going to be expecting this position. And so, yeah, G2 just running into strong setups from Liquid. The big thing as well on top of that is they're just not fearful to push. They're not fearful to get aggressive. We see them completely give up ramp and outside to play double B, but then they just push back up and chase yard from T-spawn. There's just no fear from Liquid here in this game, and I don't blame them. 13 to 8, the expected force coming in from G2 after they get reset, but what will they really find with this? Only a single AK and 2 kills, and already one of those rifles being dropped to the floor.
Smith is taken completely out of this round. They throw down this wall of smokes. Made from Nitro. Actually doesn't find all too much damage. I thought that would have done a lot more, but they have been able to get down through Secret. The only issue is this wasn't just telegraph. This was like you know, the bat signal up in the sky. Like, everyone knows what's going on. You know, it's this B play. Naf's going to go and pick up one more. G2 yet to find anything that really inspires too much confidence in this round. Taco going to be holding down at the angle here. Shox is able to pick things up at least, managing one. But he's certainly got his work cut out for him if he wants to try and retrieve this bomb. And now in a 1v4, yeah, it goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, he's about to hit the conga line of Liquid. Gets one, expects a repeat. Twist gets a big dink, and now Shox is going to have to run for the hills. He can't find the vent. It's been smoked. Eventually we'll get it. And he will get a chance to plant up on this A-bomb side as well with 30 seconds left up. But, I mean, post-plant, that's where things really get difficult. Liquid, they give him the respect. They allow him to plant that bomb, but now they're going to start to move in. Naf close up. Shox has found his second. Actually, third of the round overall. Surely this isn't going to happen.
Well, he's got to ace it if G2 want to stand a chance of finding a ninth. And Shox, while he has the read, he has the angle. Twist going to be the man to pick up the kill, and that will be it. Team Liquid now 14-8. You know, I mean, that's sort of the worrying thing, right, is with this Team Liquid squad. They're a team that very much go with the motions, right? They go with, like, the momentum of the game. I think that's why we so often see them get in their own head and start to fall behind, right? And they do have that reputation of kind of throwing away leads at important moments. But when you're playing versus this G2 squad, a team that it isn't actually even a team anymore, you do just have that confidence, right? You know you can do whatever, and you know, a lot of the time you're likely going to get away with it, because we have seen Liquid kind of pushing the boat out, doing the unexpected, trying their hand at a lot of the aggression, and G2 haven't been ready for it. And that's partly, you know, G2, they're not playing these kind of standard defaults. They themselves are just going for these fast rounds as well on the T side. So, meaty nade onto Shox. Doesn't exactly set him up for success in this round. He's been dealt a pretty crap hand. But you got to play the hand you're dealt. Shox is going to make it work at least. Does manage one before the trade comes in. Liege is there to put the one extra nail in this coffin for G2 in this round at the very least. Kenny and Body left standing and make that just Body. I really am the death note of these G2 players. Body in a 1v4. Good for one. Still has a lot left to find if he wants to stand a chance of picking up a 9th round here for G2.
Yeah, best of luck. I mean, Liquid showing us their dominance coming into this event is always nice to see, and I don't think G2 are going to have much of a response coming into what could be the final round of this map. That's assuming Body doesn't win this though, but no armor. He spots Twist. That's a nice kill, but the second player on the site will be able to finish him off mid-air. Liege catching that falling man. And just like that, 15 rounds, map and match point for this opening best of one for Liquid. This is an event that many people would expect to see them in that grand finals, depending on obviously, you know, where they go through in the group, where we're going to see them. They are in the same group as Astralis as well. Only one of those teams can be directly seeded to the semi-finals. And with the Liquid trying to dethrone Astralis, trying to get that extra 100K for not allowing them to win the Grand Slam.
And that would be like my dream storyline, right? Imagine a team rises up and then just beats Astralis like 3 times in a row and then secures, you know, 1.3 million instead. That would just be
well, I think it'd be great to see Liquid in more ways than one, in the sense of not only can they stop Astralis from, you know, getting that $1 million and therefore get themselves 100K, but they finally break the curse of being in that grand final.
But we got to get there first.
Yeah.
You know, we have to. We're not even. We're at the starting line. The starting gun's only just gone off, Hugo. The road to Odense is a very, very long one, right? So it's still a long way yet to go. What could be the last round, though, of this game here. Team Liquid sitting on match point, 15-8 up, and G2 setting up for this fast A play. You have Existence and Shox ready to wrap around from outside, but they might not get there in time because Twist and Liege, they've mopped this round up. They've shut down absolutely everything. It's Shox left in a 1v4. Not anymore. He'll get found and shown the door. Team Liquid, they close this map out in a very convincing fashion, 16-8. And yeah, I mean, that was, considering it was at one point in time 6-1 in favor of G2. So since then, they managed just 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, they came out of the gate swinging, and that definitely makes you think, like, okay, can this team find success against other you know, rosters? Can they go somewhere in this event, or are we going to see that expected, you know, group stage exit from G2, especially not with their full roster? So up in the air on that one, but Liquid are looking good.
Let's go to give this back to the boys on the desk. Trace and Co. What do you guys make of that one?
Yeah, I think that one probably was a good look for G2 beginning early on, but then it didn't necessarily go in their favor. And yes, you are right. You have landed on the analyst desk. Guys, I guess looking right at this one from the very tippity top, I know that we said that G2 wasn't going to have an easy path here no matter what. But I guess no matter that, Liquid got a slow start.
I mean, you had G2 winning this, right? So
I said G2 wins the whole tournament, but also that's before I had the green tea this morning. So.
I mean, they even got the perfect start, right? They were 5-0 up, and everything was looking pretty good. And what was surprising to me, honestly, was the approach that Liquid took to this game, where it was really up-tempo. They were doing a lot of upper pushes, basically straight from the get-go, whereas you would have thought that they'd want to kind of try to play around the fact that G2 might not be very coordinated. They'll have struggles when it comes to adapting to situations. So, getting 8 rounds on the T side, you felt like still Liquid was on the driver's seat and they had everything, pretty much under control. And then also winning the CT piston round, you felt like that was pretty much a done deal.
There was not a single point in this game where a Liquid fan should have been worried, right? Even when they were 5-0 down, it's the CT side of Nuke of all maps, right? Even if, like, a team of this caliber, players of the caliber of G2 should be able to lock out with basic protocol usage, should be able to get multi-kills when people are coming through small choke points. And you did see, like, players were winning the duels that they should have been getting in the early stages. But what happened was, as soon as Liquid could string some rounds together, that's what they got on top of the economy. The ecos had to come on in. And at that point, for G2, that's all she wrote, because we flick on to the second half, and they just got beaten down.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, you could tell, like, watching, like, the difference between the CT sides of these teams, as the rounds were getting a little slower for G2, you could tell, like, Liquid actually had some ideas how to make information plays, when to push lobby together, what kind of things do you need to do to kind of make the life of a T side as hard as possible. Meanwhile, G2 was kind of just waiting for Liquid to take the initiative.
One thing I did notice from at least the camera perspective, what we were catching in between rounds, would be the fact that G2 smiles. They obviously have a different mindset coming into this event given the parameters of the team, but they seem to have high hopes or high spirits, at least there in the beginning. Probably something good to feel about regardless.
Yeah, and look, as you're going out the door, you may as well do the best you can. I think Existence, he was being a lot more assertive in his approach than what I think we would normally see. He's normally, and I looked at the stats here, historically for G2, he is the lowest rated player on Nuke. He was historically the lowest rated player with this team, with Smiths, and a lot of the times these guys are playing games, right? So for him to have a good game in that way, he was, like I said, being a lot more assertive. You saw that round where he pushed outside with the dig. We got a lovely 1 dig and multi-kills under within the early couple of rounds. It's signs that obviously we know he can frag, right? When he was in LDLC, he was one of the better players on that team. And now that I guess the pressure is off his shoulders of having to, worry about, is this project going to work? Because it's not. He just has a chance.
It's dead.
He just has a chance, exactly, just to play a little bit looser. And all in all, maybe we'll see more of that because they have to move to a best-of-3 now.
Well, what we're going to have to see now is a little bit of Taco. The Kings of Malta are here in Odense, trying to also grab another crown and another title. But this being the first step against G2, let's hear what they had to say.
I'm joined by Liquid's Taco after a pretty convincing win on Nuke. It was a different kind of matchup, though, because this G2 is not really the real G2 that's been announced now. They're kind of playing a different style, I guess. What were some of the things you noticed about just the changes in them?
I mean, I don't know what was happening in their team. I always respect those guys. They're legends in the game. For this match, especially, I knew that it would be different, but also I know that Smiths and Existence, they are great players, and I know that they want to finish this last tournament in a good fashion, and we knew that they would do their best, and they gave us a lot of work in the first half of the match.
Now, let's talk about Malta. You guys took the win there. You now come straight into this. What has that done for the team's mentality? How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling tired. Yeah, we had a long day yesterday. Of course, I had a great sleep time this night. Yeah. And today I woke up, I ate breakfast, and I had my Monster. And, I opened my Alienware laptop to watch my demo. And I watched G2. I actually thought it would be Cash, and it was Nuke. So I watched the wrong demo, but my Alienware laptop was there, and I'm really happy because of that. And yeah, we came to the tournament. We are feeling really confident. Winning Malta was a boost of confidence for us, and we have high expectations. And we're gonna keep also working. We need to work a lot in this week because we just played the tournament, and we know that we have to change a lot of stuff in our map pool because teams nowadays everyone can beat everybody, and they're gonna study us. They have a lot of demos to watch from us from Malta, and we're gonna change a lot of stuff. And this week we're gonna play the tournament, but we're gonna also work a lot.
Well, yeah, a lot of work to be done. Still a whole road ahead of us here, but you got the first hurdle out the way. Thank you very much, Chaco. He's very good at plugging stuff across the board here, but let's see what the guys on the desk make of that.
I would say, yeah, Taco definitely selling.
He's getting a pay rise, I think.
Yeah, I think he definitely made that sound smooth, and you can understand how they probably came here a little bit tired from Malta. It's probably a little bit of brainwaves right there crossed.
Well, we're on the same flight. We had to leave at 7:15 a.m. or 7:35 a.m. was our flight, so we had to leave for the airport.
The hardest part is that you don't really have any time to digest the fact that you've finally been able to win a tournament, and then you just get into a new one, you know, a big tournament like this. Obviously, I mean, like I said before, it's going to be one way or the other. Either you're going to just use that as a motivation, it's going to really, really make them play loose and play really good Counter-Strike, or maybe they'll just feel a little bit too satisfied. So that's kind of the hard part. At least they managed to like get across the first hurdle without not much of a hiccup there against G2. So that's a good start for them.
Well, talking about good starts, we got two other teams that were up for a good start in INTZ and Big. So we're going to give you a little bit of a B stream update right now. Sitting on match point would be Big Clan, who are on the CT side of Train. It's currently 15-10, guys.
Tizian won a 1v3 on the second round of the game with only a Glock.
As you would expect.
So I don't know if that puts the game in. No, it's a close match. This one here's a back and forth affair, but it looks like Big are on the precipice of taking the victory.
Well, we're going to be taking it to a quick break, and we come back. We've got NRG and North kicking it off here in what will be another best of one, an opening one for the ESL Pro League Season 8 Finals in Odense. So make sure you're here with us when we come back.